We just finished a session with Darlene on how to sell yourself with a success story. And we all sell ourselves. As soon as we open our mouth, we start selling ourselves. If you're a small business, you sell your services or products. If you are in the corporate world, you sell your candidacy at a job interview. So whenever they ask you a behavioral question, such as, tell me about a time when you did so-and-so. Tell me about a time when you faced that challenge. Tell me about a time where you led without direction. You are supposed to tell a success story. But it's even more important for those people who are either looking for a promotion because they need to answer the question, why do you think you're ready for a promotion? What makes you special? And it's also relevant for those people who are a small business, who sell their services, because the question is the same. Why are you so special? Why should I buy your services? Why should I get help from you? Why are you special? And of course, people want to understand what they're going to get from working with you. And even though I don't really like to push the pain buttons, and I don't really like when people market their services this way, hey, you're lonely, hey, you have shitty relationships, hey, you're sick all the time. So they push all the pain buttons to sell their services. I don't really like that. However, I also understand that when people are ready to buy something, it's because they're in pain for whatever reason. They're in pain and they're looking for a solution. They're looking for a remedy. And anyone who is in pain wants a relief. That's the only thought you actually have. You are in pain, you want to find a relief. You want to relieve that pain. Anyone who's in pain is looking for a shortcut. This is human nature. You can't escape it. And when I listened to a student trying to tell a success story of how she helped a client of hers, I saw how difficult it was for her to sell effort. And I relate so much. I can relate so much because when someone is in pain, they're looking for a painkiller. And the entire healthcare system tells them, hey, here's a pill. And then a person is on pills. They blink and they're on pills and they're dependent on pills. This is such an easy solution. You have a headache, take a pill. You're depressed, here is a pill. You're in pain, here is a pill. And then we have a whole nation of dependent people. And this is my pain as well. I am teaching people to put in effort in learning, to put in effort in understanding themselves, and what the best way for them to learn is to understand their internal processes so that they can self-regulate and actually own their learning process so that they can take the reins of their learning. But so few people are ready for this information. So many people are asking for a pill. And I am so sick and tired of this advertising where people keep pushing the pain buttons. Oh, you've been learning English for 20 years and you're still not there? Buy our course. A person who's been unsuccessful for 20 years doesn't want more of this, doesn't need more of this. What they need is help. And a lot of online courses today are offering services, but not help. How can people be learning something new effectively if there are so many subconscious beliefs and coping mechanisms and, to be honest, a whole bunch of personalities and weird behaviors that are pulling them in the completely opposite direction? People think it's easy. I'm just going to set a goal. I'm going to get there. I'm going to practice every day for at least an hour. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to have a community to support myself. And people know what they should be doing. Those people who are alcoholics, they know they should quit drinking, but they can't make themselves do that. And people who want to improve their English skills or learn some new discipline or learn new behaviors, they know what they should be doing. But there are so many subconscious behaviors and patterns that are pulling them in the opposite direction. Maybe you just bought another online course. Maybe you didn't complete the other online course that you bought last year. Maybe you just saw another coaching program that starts tomorrow, and you need to get it. You need to be in that group. Maybe you have purchased a number of online courses since the beginning of the year and you haven't completed any of those. People think that learning is linear. People think that going from lesson 1 to lesson 35, or whatever number that is, will get them knowledge and will change their life. But if we are realistic, today we have to stop worrying about accumulating information or accessing information. It's available. What we are lacking as people, and this is the most painful component of learning, is that we do not understand ourselves. We do not understand what information we should be engaging with and what information we should avoid. It takes months for me to explain to people that they have the power that they were trying to give away. They have the power to change their own behaviors and to change the way they speak a language today. They don't have to take another online course. They don't have to buy multiple online courses. They don't have to take private classes for the rest of their life. They need to organize their learning process, and I help them organize this, but they need to practice daily. This is a hard pill to swallow. This is what most people don't want to swallow. They need to practice daily, but it doesn't mean that they have to do something overly complicated every single day. In reality, a good practice routine means you do the same thing every day, but you do it slightly differently every day. And the whole idea of change is that you start behaving differently. That's it. So if you want to work with me, that's what it's going to be all about changing your subconscious behaviors and beliefs that are pulling you in the opposite direction of where you actually want to go. It's all about identifying the patterns that are holding you back. And we say patterns because these are not one-offs. This is not a mistake you made one time because you were not attentive. If it's a pattern, it repeats. And it repeats for a reason, because it has never been repaired. And it has never been repaired because it has never been identified. That's why you need feedback, so that someone shows you the patterns that you're not even aware of, and so you can start changing them. Before I started working on my accent consciously, I knew that something was off, but I couldn't put my finger on it, like which vowel is it, which sound is it, what is it? You can't do this without professional feedback. Here is the thing I've been thinking about. Yes, it's important to have a teacher who has the knowledge that you're lacking, who can give you feedback that you're not able to give to yourself. It's very, very important to have such people around you. But it's even more important to become a student who is able to sit with a teacher and absorb the knowledge that he or she has to give. It's so important to become the kind of student who is actually able to learn. And sometimes sitting with someone in silence is so productive because you are able to learn from the silence. We have the culture that celebrates coaches, teachers, experts, all these testimonials that you see on every fucking website. They say, oh, this teacher saved my life, this coach saved my life. But I feel like we do not celebrate the student enough, and we should. We need to celebrate the student and the student's ability to learn, to perceive knowledge. To become such a student is so much work, but trust me, it's so beautiful, because what every teacher does is a great teacher, in my opinion, is a great teacher helps you unpack the knowledge that you already have in you. Yes, they might give you some missing puzzle pieces, but the biggest job that they do is they help you unpack your inner knowledge, something that you already know, something that you have been feeling, but you couldn't really tap into that potential, and you couldn't communicate what it is that you know or feel in words, and that's why you couldn't take action, because this was somewhere, it was not conscious, you were not conscious of that. And this is my job. This is my job. This is what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about developing successful learners. It doesn't really matter what skill you want to learn. and I deal with complicated stuff. I teach the art of learning non-trivial skills. This is not simple in any way. But I'm passionate about helping people become successful learners and helping people unpack the knowledge that they have in them so that they can self-regulate their learning process. And to me, the best teachers are not the teachers who impose their worldview on you or on me, or the teachers who want you to do the homework and want you to remember every word that they said. For me, the best teacher is actually someone in whose presence I can become more of myself. It's really, really beautiful to be in someone's presence, and the only thing here is that you need to be in their presence for a while. But if you have people around you in whose presence you can learn more about yourself, and in whose presence you are able to unpack the truth of what you're feeling and what you know, this is priceless. This is priceless. Celebrate those people, celebrate those experiences, celebrate those moments, because this is true learning. You have so much power. Stop giving it away to other people, and be very careful with the information that you consume. Coming back to the concept of pain, to deal with your subconscious beliefs, limiting beliefs that make you act weird and make you do the things that you don't really want to do, but you still do them again and again. Well, this means sitting with those negative emotions, negative beliefs, and that means sitting with a lot of discomfort. And so many people are so bad at this because it's not fun at all. But sitting with this discomfort and looking for answers, it's really easier to take a pill. But there is no pill. There's no pill. There are a lot of tools to numb that pain, and there are a lot of tools to numb everything that you're feeling. But in order to change, we need to do something different. Anyway, my message was to remind you guys that you need to practice your success stories, because you need to know what pain your clients are going through. And if you're interviewing for a job, believe me, business owners have a lot of headache. So how can you take some of this headache away? How can you solve some of their problems? What is the pain that your clients are in? What are the results of working with you or hiring you? What results can they expect if they hire you? And what are your tools? Like, how will you get them from pain to relief, from feeling pain and suffering to achieving better results?